Leo, welcome to your March 2022 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Oops. Wow. Oh, we got a lot of fire. Well, I was thinking of this fire, even though that's more like Plutonian. That's so actually it isn't really fire that I'm thinking of too much, but this is like baptism by fire, the judgment card at the centerpiece of this reading in March. And this is that element of the chickens coming home to roost, so it can be, cause and effect kicking in. Some people call it karma. This is also a card of rebirth, and it is connected to the planet Pluto. So this could be a legal judgment too, just on a literal level, that you've been waiting for with something. And yeah, the king of swords in the past position can be the judge who renders that decision. It has to be very unemotional, unbiased. Maybe this is a person you're getting divorced from, who's an air sign like Aquarius or Libra or Gemini. But I was thinking of Aquarius in particular. But that person, the reason I was joking about that is because there might be somebody in your life who you felt just was way too out of touch with their feelings, and that doomed the relationship because you felt like you didn't, like that person didn't really give you the kind of emotional support that you needed. And fire signs are very passionate, and if they're dealing with somebody who is very like airy-fairy, sometimes it can feel like very dry, even though fire and air are supposed to be compatible. I know I'm a Sagittarian, and if I'm talking to somebody and they sound like they are a host on NPR and they talk like this all the time and they're very intellectual, but they don't have any kind of just pizzazz. I mean, they're not like they're not expressive in that sense. It can feel like the person is being starved emotionally, the fire sign, because they don't have that person who excites them in that sense. Now, I've certainly had relationships with air signs that were very feisty and very stimulating. So it's not, it's a case-by-case basis for sure. But I'm just saying that element, even though it's compatible, it can tend to create a sense of alienation sometimes in the personal context. If you consider yourself pretty emotional or passionate, it can do that, and you might have felt like you had to walk away from that person. Also, you might be the King of Swords, and in a figurative sense, you might be the person that had to completely divorce yourself of emotions about something so that you could fly right, because you were off track. Maybe you were hung up on somebody that was no good for you, or maybe you were just something in your life that was not working, and you had to, I think of like addiction, but not necessarily substance abuse. It could be to a person. and it made you lose your judgment, your better judgment. So anything that where you needed to have a clear head so that you could make better decisions, then if that has happened for you, that's a good thing. Or if you need that to happen, then that's a good thing. The higher message is the Fool card, which is a card about, it's the first card of the deck, and it's the 0 point. It's like the point of creation, absolute new beginnings. And it's kind of like going back to the drawing board, so to speak, but coming with a clear, with a, I want to say like a blank slate, like not allowing the past to contaminate your pure potential, your field of pure potential. I don't know, that sounds like one of those sayings by a spiritual guru. But anyway, it's really the truth. What I feel like this is saying is that you are heading into a period of time when you're going to be on a new adventure. I'm trying to think astrologically, how that relates to that. And I can't do it right this second, but I will say that with the Aries season that, comes at the end of the month, this is in your 5th house. And guess who rules the 5th house? You do, Leo. So this is right up your alley when the sun and other planets go into the sign of Aries, because it goes into your 5th house. So that can feel like, love and creativity coming back to you. If you felt that you've kind of you had lost your way in those areas, you could be feeling renewed, but there's something maybe that is like that you need to be doing that is completely on another path. Because remember that Leo is a fixed sign, so there's a tendency to keep doing the same thing over and over again. But if you expect different results, that's what insanity is, right? So it's really about, I would say it's like that Robert Frost poem, the road untraveled, less traveled. But you can even say untraveled too. That you chart a new course for your life. This is a spiritual message. So it may be on the mundane level. You might be thinking, what is she saying? I have a job. But we also have the 3 of Wands. So that means that there is this journey, this journey of expansion that is awaiting you. What crosses you is a Temperance card. This is connected to Sagittarius. And I just got this for Aries, which, that's funny, fire signs. And yes, I think fire signs, I don't know. Fire signs, I don't think of as particularly materialistic, but also not particularly, it's not that they're not particularly spiritual, but they just kind of are into inspiration. I guess that's spiritual. But this card, you can see the angel, 1 foot is in the water and 1 foot is on land. And this card represents balance. And really, the water represents the spirit and the creative. And the land represents the grounding of the earth. And if you think about it, we need that. A lot of people make the mistake when they learn about the chakra system to kind of poo-poo the first 3 chakras as being part of the lower chakras. So that means that they're inferior to the upper chakras, and the 4th chakra is the bridge. So that's okay. But the first 3 chakras are on the material level. Well, you know what? In order to manifest things, you have to have those first 3 chakras. And people think that they can come up with these amazing ideas that are part of the upper chakras, and that's just going to cut it. And it doesn't. That's where it all begins, but it has to be drawn back down into the material for manifestation, for crystallization of ideas into the tangible. And so that might be something where you are going to extremes, where you might be too much into the material side of life, and that includes the people that you're attracted to, the jobs that you're attracted to. Does it pay well? Does it have a lot of prestige? Do I have power? This power over other people? That's the lower nature and the lower, octave of whatever this is supposed to be, and the extreme of the material. And then the other side is very idealistic, but not very practical. And so the person can live in their dreams and never really make them happen. Even Leo people tend to be successful, I feel, because they are very ambitious and they want to make their mark. But you have to temper those dreams with things that, maybe it's not so much about grounding. Maybe you have a lot of that practical side to yourself, but you need to perhaps you need to elevate your aim. Maybe it's either too ego-based or too fruitive, meaning, wanting the material over the service to others aspect of it. So, really trying to have both. It's funny, I just keep thinking, why is the Temperance card connected to Sagittarius instead of Libra, which is about balance, remember? The scales. What's coming in is the King of Pentacles. I certainly think of Leo as the royalty, as the queens and kings. Pentacles can be very good for finances. This can also be a mentor, somebody who is, especially if you are in a field like entrepreneurship, maybe you're learning from a coach or someone who has, particularly if the person has done it themselves. How we have these coaches who are telling people, give me $5,000, I'll tell you how I made my $1,000,000. And maybe that person holds a lot of, valuable information. But what's really impressive to me is when somebody has a specific thing that they're doing. I mean, like in a particular area, and then you're learning from them. So like if you're interested in astrology, that person is very much an expert in that particular field, not just kind of like a generalized type of a coach or a mentor, but somebody who really, like if you are in business, they have that covered. But it also could bode well for you financially, of really stepping into your power as it relates to the material energy. The outcome, the Three of Wands, the card of the future, looking out and seeing that you want more out of life. And you're going and maybe charting new territory. It's right under the Fool card. So maybe this is stepping outside of your comfort zone, Leo, and going for those dreams. I think this is a card of entrepreneurship, if I'm not mistaken, so that might be really bringing home that message to you. And same with personal relationships. Stepping outside that comfort zone, not just like robotically going and, finding yourself attracted to going with the same type of person. This is my type. and getting to know people whom you think are not your type, and you find out that they really are, because you want more. You don't want a relationship where you feel emotionally closed off or somebody else is, and you feel like you can't reach them. Okay, Leo, that's what I have for you. Hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.